that the skin was completely damaged and by all of these cracks, and then you changed something.
Patient who would come to me with a problem called TSDF.
What gap or problem have you identified in this industry?
Okay for some kind of influencer without knowledge about these creams to promote it.
One boundary that you have now learned to actually set as a clinic founder, as a doctor.
You're going to start treating this particular patient by changing their mindset first, not the skin or their lifestyle or anything else.
About dermatology, about aesthetics, that you would want people to unlearn.
So one thing people should unlearn about dermatologists are they just don't treat aesthetic part of.
One particular gap that you guys are very passionate that this is not gonna happen.
I don't know if I'm going to pick controversies after saying this, but I believe that sunscreens are not for everyone.
Big dream that you're finally hoping to turn into reality.
If I were to say the 100 crore.
So what's that one message all of you would like to leave behind for your juniors, for young doctors?
I say just go for it.
My thought would have not become the thing.
Welcome to the Doctorpreneur podcast, where medicine meets mindset and white coats turn into business blueprints. I am Harsh Priyadarshi, a doctor by degree and an entrepreneur by choice. I have walked the same hospital corridors, pulled the same night duties, and survived the very same exams. But somewhere along the way, life took a detour for me. I never opened my own clinic, but yet my heart has always been with those who did. This podcast is my way of coming back home, not with a stethoscope in hand, but with a microphone, curiosity, and a deep respect for those who actually dared to go beyond the prescription paths. Today, I am joined by three incredible founders. These are doctors who didn't just practice medicine, they built ecosystems of care, innovation, and trust. They are visionaries shaping the future of healthcare in Bangalore, turning ideas into impact and clinics into legacies. So let's get talking, doctor to doctor, entrepreneur to entrepreneur, about what it truly takes to wear the white coat, run the business, and change lives for good. So during my dermatology rotation in college, I saw a woman cry, not from pain, but actually from relief. She had a chronic condition that made her feel invisible in her own body, and after a few months of treatment, she looked in the mirror and smiled like she hadn't in years. It was the very first time that I understood how powerful dermatology could really be. It's not just about skin, it's actually about dignity of a person. So, what was that moment for you guys? It may be a big moment, a small moment where you knew that medicine was your calling.
Okay, to start with, after college, I always wanted to be a veterinarian, but somewhere growing up along with my sister and my brothers doing medicine, I also eventually got into a field of MBBS. So from there, once I finished MBBS, thought that I wanted to have a mix between surgical field and a part of the physician field and have a good work-life balance, as we say. So that is how I ended up narrowing down on dermatology per se. I never dreamt of being a dermatologist, but it always went along narrow downing my preferences towards dermatology. But sitting here talking to you guys about this, I'm very happy with what I'm doing.
Was there any such instance with you, ma'am?
I was always inclined towards dermatology from the beginning.
Great, great. So, this was your calling from the beginning itself. What about you, sir?
Yeah, I was actually didn't want to do medicine at all. Then I was inspired by my dad that we were supposed to do this, and the journey began with MBBS, and I really had good hurdles during my MBBS, and then choosing the dermatology was my choice because I would like he said, yeah, well, work-life balance. So and then I completed that and I really enjoyed it. And dermatology was way more than medicine. Like even the core branches also are related to dermatology. So that's the depth of dermatology, where people just think dermatology is just skin.
So, when we are doing MBBS, the standard route is always clear for most of us. You're gonna be landing a good PGC, then maybe a junior consultant in a hospital, consultant, senior consultant, and that's a great pathway to go as well, right? So, But I always had that rebellious itch in myself that I have to do something of my own. I need to have my name on the board. I want to be the boss of myself. So you all chose the road less taken of building this up yourself, not just to practice, simple medicine in some corporate hospital. You chose to go out there and build for yourself. So what actually gave you the confidence to take that leap forward?
So I always wanted to put up my own clinic, my own center, or my own hospital, not because I want to be my own boss or I want to make money out of the whole setting, but the fact that what I understand and what I believe, I can put it forward to my patients or the society. And this is possible only when I do things my way. If I'm working, for example, under someone or a whole institution or a private setup, I will have to take orders from someone and cater to their needs. But this is how I made my way.
Sorry to stop you, but this happened spontaneously. Like he just came and we are like, I had a setup already. Like meaning I was practicing functional medicine also. So he was like, why don't we do it? And I was working as an assistant professor at YDE. So then I was like, he wanted to start, and I just told him, just start off. Don't even wait for anything.
I think in this point of starting the clinic, he is my blood related brother, but in the business part, he's been a very big motivation to me. He's not said no to anything. Anything I say is like, yes, we'll do it.
If there are three passionate people at one place, we build big things, right? Right. So I still remember one ad that I saw, of a dermatology clinic. Be the best version of your skin. And I thought, what a beautiful way to put it, because skin, hair, aesthetics, these are very intimate things. They affect how we feel about ourselves, right? So, but many people still treat it like vanity or luxury, right? So, do you feel that your work is actually misunderstood by society? And how do you actually define the real purpose of aesthetic or derma care?
Okay. So I 100% agree with this that people do not care much about themselves, or they think taking care of oneself is an expensive affair
It's a
and you'll have to shell out a lot of money. But somewhere a little small things can change a lot of things in your day to day lifestyle, skin, hair health. And also a lot of people end up spending so much money buying all kind of products suggested by each and everyone. You can save up on all of that and buy one product prescribed by a dermatologist, and that will help you a lot.
Clinics cannot do much.
Yeah.
Like clinics will just prescribe. It should be even from within.
Yeah.
Like a patient also has its own his thoughts, his food, his habits.
And also
Plus,
depends on how we counsel the patient.
Yeah. Lifestyle as well. So you guys actually implement the lifestyle changes as well along with the prescriptions, and that's it.
lifestyle makes it like a major role. Like even said in medicine, it's a window towards the diseases inside, and lot of autoimmune conditions coming up. So which are like autoimmune, as said, no one knows the cause.
Yeah.
So the triggering
It's your body fighting against yourself,
Yeah.
basically. So that brings me, this expensive aspect brings me to a very personal story. My cousin, once had a very terrible chemical peel done. She went to a, local salon because she thought going to a dermat's office would be too expensive. Do you know what happened? She ended up spending twice the money trying to fix the damage done by that salon owner. So, what are some of the most, dangerous misconception and common misconceptions that patients carry when it comes to skin, hair, and aesthetics in general, especially in the Indian context? So,
Okay. So coming to the point where a patient or an individual has a problem, as long as he is outside the clinic, he remembers his problem. Once he sits in the clinic and he meets you and he sees that your prescription is costly, then he forgets his problem. He starts thinking that this doctor is sitting here to scam him, take money out of him. The whole point of why he's come here is forgotten. So,
Go around trying other stuff, but you end up coming back to the doctor. Yeah.
and I think
this happens due to misleading information by so many types of media. Yeah,
I've seen so many patients who's gone to the parlors and they give a steroid based cream. They apply it, and then they feel good for a while, and then they come back to us because
Steroids do wonders, making the skin blemishes the skin, but after that they're going to face like a lot of
problem.
Stop.
It actually becomes tougher for us to clear that instead of the initial problem.
Exactly, and that is what my cousin as well faced. I mean, she ended up spending twice the amount of time,
Yeah.
twice the amount of money.
Instead, that's where like a quack makes his name. They give a steroid, it went away. They go to a qualified person, it becomes worse. So at that point, what patient has in his mind, oh, quack did better. That's not the.
It's a misconception.
And talking about steroids, I feel steroids are being distributed by neighbors, aunties, and their relatives as if they're sweets and chocolates, saying, please use this, please use this. On a normal day, if I'm seeing 100 patients, just for context, at least 40 to 50 people would have come to me who has had past history of using steroids or still using steroids. And talk about steroid itself, it's like getting a person drunk. So your steroid is making your skin drunk. The moment you stop it, your skin is having withdrawal symptoms of the steroid.
Yeah. Any particular story, ma'am, that you can remember where a person came in, they were, actually the skin was completely damaged and by all of these quacks, and then you changed something. Any particular story that
Yeah, definitely. So there's this patient who had come to me with a problem called TSDF. So she had gone to a parlor for facial treatment. So they had given a mixture of different creams in one bottle, which had no contents list or anything.
label?
Yeah. So she's used it for almost like 6 months, and then she felt good at first, so she continued it. And then when she thought she could stop the cream, the lesion, it came out to be even worse than what it initially was. So she had come back to the dermatologist, to the doctors, and then we treated her, and then it got better, but it takes longer now.
Imagine she wouldn't have gone through that the initial 6 months. How much better could that
It would have been,
been?
yeah.
Yeah. And if this is especially for my viewers, please don't go to these quack aunties and the salon owners. These are not the people. Go to a certified and qualified dermatologist, man. Anyways, I'm an outsider now. I'm not practicing medicine. I haven't practiced. I don't remember the last time I went to a hospital. But I now notice that this industry has exploded a lot. There are now influencers doing skin routines. There are clinics popping up on every corner, no matter the certifications, no matter their qualifications as well. Amidst all this, I often wonder what is real, what's safe, and what's just noise. So, when now that we are starting your clinic, what gap or problem have you identified in this industry that you are very passionate about solving?
Okay, so let me answer the first question. So when you say quacks or influencers who are putting out content, I would say it's okay for some kind of influencer without knowledge about these creams to promote it. They may be doing for monetary uses or out of their own experiences. But I would like to call upon my fellow doctors on this topic as well to not suggest creams or any products online, because the understanding you have about a cream does not mean the patient or the individual watching your reel or a video or anything.
All
The
our
person.
treatments are very patient specific.
So when you are talking about a certain cream saying use this in the night, use this in the morning, the patient is not going to comprehend the same. He does not know how much to use, where to use, and what side effects he will be having, and when to see a doctor. So I really would like to call upon the whole media industry and our fellow doctors to stop promoting specific products as such. You can always educate on things, but never promote things for a monetary thing.
Yeah, and people should understand that skin is also breathing.
Yeah.
There are like a tablet, it's not just entering, it's entering your bloodstream.
Mhm.
I don't think many people know it. No, any cream you apply, it's entering your bloodstream.
Yes, so spontaneous absorption here.
It is entering, so there is a specific amount of cream you can apply, a steroid. You cannot apply more on your body. There are limitations. which I don't think many people know. Like they think skin is just a shield
Yeah.
or
Right. So what's that one particular gap that you guys are very passionate that this is not going to happen at our clinic? What's that one gap?
Okay, for me, it's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to pick controversies after saying this, but I believe that sunscreens are not for everyone.
I would
Huh?
like to know more about that, sir.
Yeah, so the if you would know, you also watch YouTube videos, reels of doctors being in this field. So you would have seen that doctors always say, always wear a sunscreen, always wear a sunscreen. Just remind yourself to wear a sunscreen. But I strongly believe, at least in, let me make it more specific. For a individual who is having acne or pimples, it's a strict no for me. Zero. So
Immediately after any procedure like chemical peels where your skin is compromised, I don't think you can suggest a sunscreen over there.
for example, if something is going to irritate your skin, it is going to irritate it more. So let me be more specific. It's a strict no for me when it comes to patients who are dealing with acne and pimples, because I believe somewhere, I believe, and also I've had my mentors telling this to me, saying that sunscreen molecule as such is an irritant to your skin. So if you have a normal barrier and your skin is not compromised, sunscreen works wonders. But after a peel or acne, for example, you have multiple open channels in acne or post procedure, I would only give moisturizer and not a sunscreen, because I would see risk of pigmentation, because sunscreen itself is causing a cycle of irritation and leading to pigment, which most of the people are facing post procedures.
and yeah, in this clinic we are going to concentrate more of the root causes rather than just like treating the branches and the leaves. We wouldn't be doing that. So treating the roots would cure them for longer term, and like there's no set of rules that you need to come back. And I would like rather listen to the patient more.
Hmm.
See, that's where many things are lacking also.
Yeah, I mean, people are majority of the doctors these days are looking at prescribing first and not actually understand the patient. They're building that connection, right? So let's now move to some other topics. Now, people often think that starting a clinic is just about buying a chair, a laser machine, an expensive laser machine, a receptionist, bell, hiring a few receptionists. But the reality that I've heard is way, way more chaotic. I mean, from licensing to plumbing to salaries. So, what was the most unexpected lesson or challenge that you faced while you're setting up your clinic now?
There are a lot of challenges like as per location, where to start, when to start, and getting the right designs and the right contractor. So, but for us, all those were not a problem. But few other problems were getting licenses, running around because everything is new for us, and we would not know. Like we go to one office and they like you need to get that first, and
Typically, yeah.
So somewhere I feel like our MBBS program should also have like a 6 months course of how to put up your own hospital or how to go and make a hospital better. Because I definitely faced this challenge, and I think that is where Dr. Jeevat helped me a lot, and he came in like a big brother into the scene, and he had an answer for everything.
Actually, very, very lucky to have found somebody like Dr. Jeevat. And again, I would repeat the same thing. If two to three very ambitious people are together, they can turn any mountains, they can turn anything around and, build legacies together. So, as a patient, what I remember the most is not just how I was treated, but, how I was made to feel when I'm visiting any doctor. So, sometimes the consultation will get over in 10 minutes, but, if you actually listen to that patient, that feeling of respect lasts longer, like lasts right lifelong. So, how do you plan on designing your patient experience, and what are the little things that you are planning to make them feel heard, safe, seen, understood? What are your plans, sir, man?
So, like we already spoke, skin is a window to our internal health. And coming from a stressful industry or stressful background of studying medicine, I feel skin is a very good indicator of your lifestyle and stress. So you can have hair loss with stress, you can have acne with stress, you can have all kind of diseases with stress. You can also get diabetes, which again shows secondary changes in your body. So for me, having good mentors in life and telling you what to do, what not to do, and having people to look up to in difficult situations is what matters to me the most. So to the patient, I would want to be that. If it's a youngster or an adult or a older person, each one has their own insecurities or problems. So if you can be a mentor, a doctor, and someone who they can look up to in everything, I think that is where the treatment gets completed as a whole, and that is when the patient is also going to come back to you saying, I have this problem, how can we fix this? If not, he is just going to skip.
Yeah, just like knowing their symptoms wouldn't solve their problems. You just need to go a little outside the box, know the story. And I think that's how it was before. Like doctors used to spend a lot of time and ask their stories so that to get to know everything. Now that just become how do you take history and forgotten that.
We should also like ensure to the patients if they have any complications, we'll still be there with you.
So you want to be the trusted guide that takes them to the emotional journey that they're going to. That's a great plan and a great vision for okay. I'll definitely once visit for my hair, but if I could.
Got you.
So I remember I once visited a beautiful clinic. There was perfect lighting, premium interiors. But when I visited there, na, the staff barely looked up as if, they were doing me a favor by, accepting me into the clinic. And I thought to myself, design to bahut acha hai, but emotion kahan hai? So how do you plan on balancing the aesthetic appeal with the emotional warmth that is needed in a Hintamani?
Okay, not just you, but even I've faced this. A lot of places, a lot of clinics, when I was going to other hospitals or clinics for my own reasons, it's like it's a very good hospital. The doctor is the best person to meet, but you're not greeted well because the staff itself is not happy about working there. So most of the time, it's not the salary why the staff works for you. It's about being respected, being valued for what they give you. So I think somewhere as a doctor, if you can build a team, and team building is the biggest thing to get your clinic successful and running. And big setups like ours usually work on teams. So I cannot be doing each and everything. So making standard SOPs and making your staff felt heard and respecting them. The staff will never leave you, nor will they treat your patients bad. They will all be in the same circle and work with you.
So you
Teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork and shared vision. Exactly. That's a great plan to have. And I'm sure the clinic that you're gonna have, it's gonna be, where people can be can feel actually heard and understood as well. Because I know you from a long time now, and I know you're that kind of a person. Will make sure that it happens. I'm extremely confident. But being a clinic founder not just means that you're a doctor, sir. You are also the HR manager, you're the marketing team, the financial controller, and some days even the janitor. I've seen doctors, I've seen clinic founders, take over the job of janitors as well. So how do you manage all these roles at once? So what is that one responsibility that you never expected that even this responsibility comes with with being a clinic founder?
Initially, as we started our clinic and the team was getting ready, and we had a few things going on, and we didn't have an entire team to take care of the whole thing. Selling medicines, over the counter medicines, which I prescribed myself, and having to explain to them that this is the costing of this medicine and please use it. So prescribing is what we usually do, and we do not go down and sell the medicine or do the billing. So sometimes it happens when the staff is on leave or my other staff are doing some procedure where I have to go down and do the billing and give the medicines to the patient. I think it is not an unexpected thing, it's an expected thing, but that is something I'm not comfortable doing.
That's entrepreneurship. Yeah. Uncomfortable situations leading to very comfortable.
Doctors, I felt, are not good negotiators. So
Very bad in sales, very bad in negotiation. We went through 5.5 years of MBBS, 3 years of PG, multiple fellowships. Not once were we taught how to actually sell, how to actually present something. So yeah, that's always an issue in upcoming clinics and with new for clinic founders. So we always hear, sir, that doctors are rich, clinic owners are very lucky, and nobody actually looks at the sleepless nights, the emotional pressure, the decision fatigue. So what's that one big myth, about being a doctor, having your own clinic that you guys have actually experienced, and what's the truth that people don't see?
Okay, so for an entrepreneur, I think retiring at the earliest is the biggest asset to have. So, looking at that perspective and being a doctor, I think no matter how rich I am, if I sit at home, I'm not earning money. I have to come to my clinic. I have to sit in my hospital. I have to put in the work. I cannot work from some remote place like someone else and be rich. So I don't think being rich only means having certain amount of money or wealth or jewelry or land. Being rich also means that you can do or go wherever you want at a certain point of time. But as doctors, I think we've signed up for it. I'm not complaining that it's the truth, but definitely everyone needs to make money, have a family, and take care of his needs. But that does not mean that we are looting you and making money.
Yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, it visiting a doctor is almost always less expensive than not visiting a doctor, and getting the letting the problem actually increase in magnitude and intensity. Right. So even though I've never practiced, I've actually had friends. I've heard them break down. I've heard their burnout stories because they always felt like they have to be always on the 100% of their game. They have to be always available. They need to always be in control of the situation. So how do you handle the burnout that comes with the profession, the mental load, and what actually helps you guys reset when things get too heavy on you? Ish.
I think you should like take a break, go for a vacation, refocus, refresh, and come back.
And moreover, in dermatology, that the thing is a bit calmer for
Compared to other.
compared to other branches. So, but still, yeah, like she said, take a break.
Okay. For me personally, I enjoy lifting weights and going to the gym. So at one point, through when I was doing my PG, there was a point where I wanted to professionally compete as a power lifter because this was something that used to give me relief on a daily basis. So every single day, once I'm done with my hospital work, I should run to the gym. So that is one way. And very true. Speaking about burnouts, so for example, imagine I did a procedure today and things didn't turn out the way I wanted to. I would go back home and beat myself up for it. I am a perfectionist, wanting to do very good stuff and want to deliver. But when some things happen which are not under your control, and I always beat myself up for this, and I think that is where powerlifting and fitness has come and rescued me.
So people eventually find, that thing that actually helps.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, and that's very, very important, especially in such a high pressure field like ours in medicine. So I still remember, back in second year of my MBBS, my pharmacological professor once said me, healing is more psychological than physiological. And that line has never left me. So is there any particular quote, book, a mentor, or any patient that actually continues to guide you on a day-to-day basis even today, sir?
Yeah, that's what, like I said before, like spending more time would get their psychology out from a patient. So, more than pharmacology, psychology works better as per what I have seen because patients respond to better to uh, psychological therapy and understanding of the disease as such more than pharmacology. So in that case, I feel getting to know their story and then you prescribing them medicines would do much better job than just listening to their symptoms and forgetting the rest. So everything depends on their habits, their daily lifestyle, everything that's shown on the skin.
Any book, any quote, any mentor that you guys still look up to?
Oh, so speaking about mentors, I have quite a few. I've learned a lot from them in the last 3-4 years. So I've picked up like 3-4 men who are very high value and who have an answer for everything. There's something I heard on YouTube, one of the videos. It said thoughts become things.
Yeah.
So I believe we've done that. Thoughts became things.
I am pretty positive with the kind of attitude all of you three have, that every thought that you have, every thought of doing good to mankind, adding value to the world, will become a reality in no time. So there was that one girl in my internship, I still remember. She came in with acne. She was avoiding mirrors all the time. And a few months later, she finally looked into the mirror and said that I feel like me again. And I'll never forget that particular expression in her face. So do you have a story like that? A patient journey that was, that transformed both them and you at the same time?
I had a patient. She had vitiligo. She had gotten married, and then they found out that she had vitiligo, which is it's not a communicable disease or anything. But the parents and the husband side, everyone, they were threatening her that I want a divorce now because you haven't informed us prior. So I not only treated the patient medically, but also, it's almost like saving the, yeah.
Okay, so I have a very personal incident here. So this was something that happened to my own sister. So she was down with some illness for which she had to take some kind of medication, which includes steroids in the prescription. Turns out that she is very sensitive to steroids and she had acne breakout, weight
Back
gain,
action.
and acne on the back, hand. So giving her timely advice and telling her what to do made a hell lot of difference for her. What she would have recovered in 5 years, we could bring that down to like 8 to 9 months. And she's very happy today about that. And as a family member, it makes me very happy.
Doctors are seen as experts, but sometimes we're also students of emotions, especially in a field like aesthetics. So, what did you guys personally learn, as a human being from any particular patient experience that you would like to share?
Okay. So there was this patient who had multiple scars, acne marks on the face. And considering acne scars or any kind of scar for that matter, there is no one single treatment that suits everyone. You will have to use surgical modality, you'll have to use an energy based device, you'll have to use chemical peels, you'll have to use lasers, and all of this. But this one particular patient, she was apprehensive itself, and also turns out that her skin is not healing as we expect. So now I excise one of her scar. That scar is getting worse. Now this happened over like 2-3 times, and then I had to convince her. It took me a lot of time to convince her that let's not do worse. If I cannot do good to you, I'm not going to do bad at least to you. So let's stop this here and we'll do some damage control and go back. Because sometimes it's your body is beyond. Agreed, we're doctors, we have studied everything, but you need to cater treatment that the patient requires, and not everything suits one person.
Every
So
person responds differently to any kind of treatment.
All right, let's now move on to some other topics now. Let's look at the bigger picture now. I'm a big planner. Even though I never opened a clinic, I still dream in 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year intervals. That part has never left me. So, where do you see your clinic, your vision going over the next few years? What are the big dreams that you're working towards as of now?
so after finishing PG and a few fellowships, the very next day when I met Dr. Jeevat is when I had this conversation of putting up one clinic. Like, I believe in starting small, getting experience out of it, and scaling from there. But the fact that we have such a good team and reliable team, we within months we open another clinic, and our goal is to have multiple centers. And personally, I also do hair transplants, which is my forte. So I would also like to build upon this and also provide a lot of gap in between understanding the patient and treating the disease per se. So that is wherein we want to bring in changes and value addition per se to a patient's life. And there are a lot of saloons or wellness center in the city, but I think a wellness center or a clinic which is solely run by dermatologists and not just PROs managing or selling packages is going to make a hell lot of difference. And this is where we see us going, and not just city, we look forward to having centers in different part of the country and the globe.
With the kind of attitude you guys have, I'm 100% certain that we'll be seeing a lot of big centers coming up pretty soon. So, expansion, but as you told me, sounds great in theory. Sometimes, but even hiring one person can feel like an emotional turmoil, right? So, how do you manage the growth related choices? Do you go by instinct? Do you have data supporting it? Or is there something else entirely for you guys?
So this is where I think people like you, Dr. Hirsch, come into play. So we definitely need some kind of help or some kind of framework to tell us how to go about it. Not just looking at things or money perspective or managing our funds or managing the team or hiring the telecallers. That is all the secondary. So the fact that you have a vision that you can educate people, make such videos and have such conversations and put out some kind of content which is going to bring in credibility for you and a little bit of information on what you are to your own patient. I think this is where people like you come into place and help doctors like us.
Thank you for that, sir. So, I always believe that clinic is like a living organism. And the vibe that you create around the clinic actually becomes its DNA. So, what kind of shirt do you visualize actually having inside the clinic? And tell me for both your patients as well as the team that you're building.
Like I already mentioned, respect is what people thrive on, and where you're respected is where you're going to live. And that is what I live by with my team. For patients, now if I myself am treating my team with respect, they are definitely going to go and treat my patients with respect and care.
Respect will be the vibe.
Exactly. That is how it works.
Gratitude and respect. I mean, these are the two things. These are my mottos of life, sir. Have gratitude for everything and have respect for the things that you're getting.
You want something, your call is respected. You don't want something, your decision is respected. You want to do things in a certain way, your things are respected. That's exactly what I mean to say.
So, branding used to feel like a business word earlier, right? But now, even doctors need a clear voice, especially on it. So, how do you plan on handling your brand presence online, offline, in the community that we have? What do you want people to say that when they think of your clinic? What's that one message?
So, talking about branding, what I understand about branding is how people would look at me or how people would resonate with me. And it's not like I'm branding a product or I'm branding Dr. Jatin and selling him. So, for me, branding becomes important because I need people to know before they come to me that what I do or what kind of a person I am and what I can provide to them and what are the services that I am good at. So that is where branding came in for me, and I've had a very good team work on that. So yeah.
I once overheard someone say that he's a dermatologist, so like facials and Botox and all. I wanted to educate them that it's much more than that, but also I sighed. I just gave him a sigh and moved on. So, what's that one stereotype about your field, about dermatology, about aesthetics that you would want people to unlearn?
So one thing people should unlearn about dermatologists are they just don't treat aesthetic part of. They treat like there is more into dermatology, just like a vital organ. Skin is also a vital organ, which is the skin barrier, the outermost barrier which protects you from like outside. So, and like I said in like previously, it is also breathing like any other organ. Like so, um, so people should look into skin issues more deeply and watch out. It's like a window for many diseases. So even to like the cancers and so many other autoimmune conditions, which are the skin are the indicators to it.
So it's not just only about facials or Botox or fillers, which is only cosmetically shown everywhere in the social media and all. But the other core dermatology where people go with the fungal and bacterial infections, which shows on skin, that I think people don't know much about that.
Okay, start about this like people. So acne. When you treat acne, people forget about treating acne. They come after a few years with acne scars. They wouldn't even know that's because of acne. So if they knew that they had to meet the right dermatologist at the right time, the scars would have been avoided. So it's like dermatologists are not about facials and the other things. Actually, it starts with the root causes again of particular diseases. So if you prevent acne at the right age, you're going to prevent acne scars. If you're going to prevent like your lifestyle and how you moisturize your skin, you're going to prevent eczemas, atopic dermatitis for pediatric age group. So many more things can be preventable, but people think visiting a dermatologist when they're a kid, it's not good because it's for facials and when you grow up.
People confuse dermatology with aesthetics.
So I would like to add up and highlight the fact that as dermatologists, we've not just studied about the skin, but our degree consists of DVL, that is dermatology, venereology, and leprosy. And I think in the entire fraternity of doctors, we are the only specialist in leprosy, and a lot of cases in endemic places and people traveling from endemic places. A lot of doctors or general physicians just overlook leprosy. So I think this is one hurdle the whole leprology team is facing nationwide in eradicating leprosy, and that's why it's become a government program right now, just like tuberculosis.
Reminded me of community medicine.
And many of the big skin clinics which are running don't treat clinical and leprosy as such. They're just been referred.
Mhm.
This clinic wouldn't do that.
Yeah. We deal with both cosmetics and the core dermatology. I don't think we will separate.
And I think when we started with the notion of doing everything. So if you have any issue with anything related to what we do, you're not going back
That is
without an
our
answer or a treatment. You come in, you go back satisfied.
That gives me a lot of confidence and fertility. Skincare is still seen as frivolous and only for women. And the irony is that skin is the largest organ, as you guys have already mentioned multiple times. So that what's that one cultural or gender based bias that you want to actually challenge now through your work moving forward?
Being a male dermatologist itself in a female dominated community. So, for example, when I was doing PG, my batchmate, we were four of us. Three are women, and I'm the only guy. The same was the case with my senior batch. And definitely, and what happens when a lot of female dermatologists are marketing a lot of cosmetic procedures?
Most of the male dermatologists would have faced the same thing. They
Huh?
do like 3:1 ratio.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that all these cosmetic procedures look good on camera, a lot of clinics are only portraying these because this is what is going to get the buck for us. But coming to the fact that even me myself, I do chemical peels myself, I get Botox injection myself. Talking in your aspect, you would also want to do something to your hair. So it is nothing to do with the gender. Each one has their own problem, and each one has the specific treatments. And
Because beauty was female, feminine. So, and like you said, like it related to dermatology is related to facials and all those things. Something similar. So But now it's changing. Even men want to look good. Like you said, like appearance is your confidence always.
Exactly.
So nothing more than that.
So I've seen people spend 2000 on a party outfit, but hesitate to spend even 500 on a, skin consult. I've seen people, have the mindset of quick fixes that I'll take a cream, I'll apply it, I'll actually get a very fair skin. So in a world of these quick fixes, how are you planning to, help the patients understand the benefits of long-term and medical skin health?
Actually, you've been very generous here by saying spending 2000 rupees for an outfit, but I would like to compare this to spending on a movie popcorn, 500 rupees. So I think you should start valuing yourself more than this. And also coming to quick fixes, I think this is something we face on a daily basis. Not just patients, but family and friends as well. They are going to text you saying, I have a function next week, give me something. The first thing I say is don't do anything, go to the makeup artist, get it covered. Then you come back to me, we'll start dealing with it slowly. I need minimum of 6 months to do anything, and at least 1 year to bring out 80 to 90% of results.
We actually ask the patient, like, do you have any functions ahead in a recent? So then we don't treat them, because any reaction can come and we cannot promise them that this is going to be the outcome.
Yeah, and quick fixes have quick reactions also. So
And to deal with such things, there are a few pampering treatments in our forte as well.
Yeah.
We do that, but it is just going to give you a satisfaction that I've done something to myself, but you are not going to get more than 10-20% of result. If you want 80-90% result, you need to spend at least 6 months to 1 year and stick by each and every routine, and only then are you going to see any kind of results.
Especially if you're looking at hair, I think you should give them minimum 1 or 2 years time.
Yeah, totally agreed on that one, sir.
and coming to hair, like it's like hair fitting hair is like very slow and a long term treatment. It is not like it's like a fever, you give a dose and it goes off. Hair should be maintained and it's growing like every day and you need to maintain it every day.
Say how you're watering plants every day.
I would compare hair treatment as Chinese bamboo. So there is this particular kind of bamboo where you plant the tree and you have hope that it is going to come out someday, and you keep watering it for a certain number of years. They say 4 to 5 years. I've never had the plant, but yeah. So I would always tell that treating your hair is like a Chinese bamboo. That one fine day you're going to see so much hair on your hair that you're not going to regret that you spent your time. Money is a secondary thing. No one cares about money anymore. People care about what they feel, how they look, or how people look at them. So time spent is what I need your time. I don't need your money.
Consistency is consistency is key. And I've never been consistent with hair care. I've tried everything, never been consistent, and that was the reason why my hair is this way. But one of the hardest things in any career, especially in a field like medicine, is learning how to stay moved. So, what's that one boundary that you have now learned to actually set as a clinic founder, as a doctor, to prevent your peace of mind?
Same topic of quick fixes in this. So anyone coming into the clinic asking for a quick fix, it's
Definitely.
definitely no. I am first. You're going to start treating this particular patient by changing their mindset first, not the skin or their lifestyle or anything else. They need a because they have unrealistic expectations.
Changing that mindset like that would change them in many of the fields as such. Like you said, pharmacology and psychology.
Yeah.
It would work in that way. So changing someone's mindset would be implemented in their personal areas also.
As postgraduates, I think psychodermatology as a factor is a very small topic for us, but it well on day-to-day basis we practice psychodermatology every day.
That's what set you guys apart, I guess, as well. So, if even one listener of this podcast is sitting with self doubt, wondering if they'll ever open their own clinic, I hope your story will give them, a little nudge, a little bit of motivation to actually do that. So what's that one message all of you would like to leave behind for your juniors, for young doctors, students, for dreamers who want to follow in the footsteps that you guys have, now walk the path?
I say just go for it. I think the longer you sit on it, the more doubts you'll have.
And
It's never ending.
Paralysis. That's what a term.
and being with right people around you
Definitely.
and having the same like minds.
Means.
Thanks.
Because like the day I spoke to him, he was like, today is the last day you should be thinking about something, and it's never too late to start. So because if imagine I just didn't do what I did and I would go somewhere, do a job, I would still be happy, but my thought would have not become the thing.
Thoughts become reality.
Exactly.
That's a good message to have. So, the new center is coming up, right? When you're now thinking of the opening day, is it the faces of the first patients, or is it the quiet satisfaction that you guys will have that comes first to the mind on that day?
I think both of these goes hand in hand, because that satisfied face of the patient would give me satisfaction as well. And the very purpose of doing all of this, going through all the hassle, putting up everything, setting up a team, it is very easy for me to go work somewhere, make my bread, earn my bread, and have a decent life. But I don't mind if I'm not earning that much, but I am going to do things my way, and I'm going to be treating my patients with what I understand the best, and I feel I'm very good at it.
I totally second that. The same thing. So uh, having patience satisfaction is it's going to be proportional to my satisfaction as well.
So this phase before opening a new clinic, it's a very rare phase. All the vision, all the hope that you have in this phase. So how are you guys making sure that you guys carry this feeling forward once the door opens as well? The same vision, the same hope.
In this matter, I feel our hope, our vision is going to become bigger from here. There is no going back from this. If not for this, I don't know what to do. I cannot do any other thing. This is what I do. This is what I know. This is what I've studied.
After being in the same field for like 10 years, I don't think we understand outside world that much, but this is what we are good at and this is what we want to do.
If not this, if not Bangalore, some other state, if not some other state, some other country, but I am going to do only this. This is what I do now.
I can see that passion in you, sir, and I'm sure you're going to do great things. So, a year from now, when you look back at this particular moment, what do you hope to thank yourself for doing in this now moving forward before the clinic? What do you hope to thank yourself for a year from now?
Then we went against all odds and started.
Self-belief, I would call that self-belief. And there are instances when your family, friends, and you yourself start doubting things. Will this work? Am I doing the right thing? Am I burning out money on things that are not necessary? But I think somewhere things have to be done a certain way, and what has to be done has to be done. And just believing in yourself and the fact that you're going to, I think this is going to be better than what I'm thinking it's going to be.
If your future patients could speak to you today before the clinic even exists, what would you think they would say to you?
I would confidently say I have at least 200, 300 patients who are waiting for me to open the clinic, and each one, so there is a certain groups of people where each one is fighting, saying, I am going to be his first patient, I am going to be his first patient. So I think we've built that same kind of trust and delivered the same kind of treatment.
Right. So now let's rewind a bit. Take us back to the moment that you decided to finally partner with SBA. What was going on in your journey back then, and what made you actually feel that we were the right fit?
Told you on the first call we had, it was Saturday night, I believe. I was just brainstorming, thinking, how am I going to do things? How am I going to get things in play? What is the framework I'm going to be following? Because I saw a lot of clinics were doing good, have this. They have a set, they have a framework, they have a proper hierarchy and stuff. But no, I do not know how to do this because I have not learned this. So then I came across one of your videos. Then I think you're the only person I spoke to. I'm not taken calls from anyone else. I spoke to only you, and yeah, I think we're sitting here because they were
So, when you first came on board with SB, what was the big dream that you're finally hoping to turn into reality with our support?
If I were to say the 100 crores, uh,
Someday for certain, sir. Um, Even though the clinic hasn't opened yet, how would you describe the journey so far? And how has SBA been the part of actually shaping it so far for you?
so things are a little out of tradition here. So how things work with you guys, I would like to say, in my perspective, is a lot of firms are giving out some kind of reels or some content or pushing ads. It's not reaching anyone. I think there is a different way to beat the algorithm, the market. And here it's more about teaching. You see, for example, now I am sitting with you and you had to help me with something. And whatever you've taught me, I'm going to carry it all my life. No, it's not something that once I stop taking things from you, I'm done. No, I've learned this art of doing something by myself. I've learned how to do things. So it's a lot of value addition to us.
All right. Thank you for that. So, if you think about the support that you've received from SBA so far, what moments or experiences, although it's not been a long time, what moments or experiences stand out for you particularly?
Okay. So majorly, all the doctors face this one thing is having a right team and hiring people. So giving us information on how to hire and how to handhold your team has been very helpful for us.
And then training the staff, we wouldn't know how to do or where to get help from. That was very helpful.
Thank you for that. And I'm 100% certain that every experience that you have moving forward will be at this level of professionalism, and we will definitely reach the vision of 100 crores together. So we're in this for the long game, for 10 years at least from here. Because we can't reach 100 crores in 6 months, can't reach there in a year as well.
I would become the unrealistic patient.
But if we stay realistic, if we stay consistent in this process, it is much easier than we think as of now. It's not going to take even 10 years. We're going to reach there even before 10 years. And I am 100% certain on that. We won't stop. So now that we are coming to the end of the podcast, I would like you guys to give out one message to the audience, to the viewers that we have who have stayed so far in the podcast with us. So,
We have two skin centers, one in Indranagar and one in TC Palya. The Indranagar one is our flagship destination for hair, skin, and nail. And the TC Palya one also is with good accessibility where we treat skin, hair, and nail.
The three of us here are opening two centers in Bangalore by the name RUA Skin and Hair Center. At RUA, our philosophy is to blend advanced medical technologies with personalized treatments.
As he mentioned, we have two centers, one in TC Palya and Indranagar, Bangalore. These both are state-of-the-art facilities where we provide and cater to a complete range of medical dermatology, which deals with infections and allergies, dermatosurgery range, and also aesthetic range, where we have US FDA and ISO approved laser machines, energy-based devices, and also our team also does hair transplants, beard transplants, and a whole range of other hair care treatments like exosomes and MCT cell technology and PRP and GFC injections.
thank you for that message, sir. I'm as excited as you guys for that clinic that you're coming up, because I know that you people care about your patients, and you'll have a center that actually cares, actually delivers the kind of results that patients are looking for. And I may not have ever opened a clinic, but today you guys have made me feel like I've sat inside three of them. Thanks to all of you. You reminded me that healing doesn't just happen through medicines, it happens through intention, kindness, and courage. Until next time, from one doctor to another, thank you. Thank you so much for building something meaningful and something so beautiful. Thank you for coming down here. Thank you for the podcast. Thank you a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you.